Sports Stuff with Jim Muff coming at you live on the YouTubes.
On the YouTubes.
Hello, everyone.
Good evening.
Ooh, I had the YouTube in my ears.
At least now we know the delay. Now I feel good.
Now
Up to hit the button whenever you say something you shouldn't say.
There's the bailout button.
We don't have a bailout button. We don't have a cough button. We are live. We are unfiltered. And we are slightly unhinged today, Monday, October 27th, 2025. Happy belated National Tight Ends Day.
To all those who celebrate.
Jim not celebrating, not excited. Alex
the tight
not
end
celebrating.
is a good position. I'm a fan of the tight end.
We're still talking football.
See, there you go.
I was going to say
Turn
Jim
it down.
wide receiver.
I mean, I just got ahead of Alex because that's where Alex's mind went.
I was definitely going to, and I was trying to filter what would be appropriate versus inappropriate. Everything that came across my mind was considered inappropriate.
All right, we're going to get into what is happening in the NBA right now, and we're not talking about on the court. Some off-the-court drama, gambling involved.
Wait,
people
you
arrested.
You jumped the whole intro? You're just gonna.
Did you not want me to say what we're going to get into in this entire episode, as in a summary of what we're going to talk about?
All right. I mean, you're the podcast genius. I'm sorry, my fault. My bad. I don't know why I'm questioning this. My fault.
I was going to talk about another high-profile firing in college football, along with the college football games from the weekend and the NFL slate. And lest us not forget other interesting news in sports.
High profile.
But before we do that, as a reminder, thanks for everybody that interacts with all of our content on the socials at Sports Jim Muff on Instagram and Twitter, Sports Stuff with Jim and Muff on Facebook, on YouTube. Subscribe, comment, rate, review, poke, like, tickle.
Get the bell on.
Ding, ding.
There we go. Get that bell on. Still on the journey to 100 subscribers on YouTube. We picked up a few more this past week. Let us keep on that trend, ladies and gentlemen. If you are not already, make sure you get on YouTube, subscribe, and hit that button. Get those notifications.
We're not far off on the hundo.
We continue to make the progress.
We're doing good.
Once we get there, it's only up, and away.
When do we get one of those little placards? That's what I want to know.
That's like 1 million.
We got to get there. We're shooting for 1 million. We want one of placards.
We got meaningful benchmarks along the way, Jim. We can't get there all at once. Before we get into this week's leadoff, we talked about this a little bit last week, and then unfortunately, untimely death for Nick Mangold, former Jets offensive lineman. We talked about the push to get him a kidney, and that did not transpire. So R.I.P. Nick Mangold.
Yeah, big sad. Rex Ryan, I think there was Bobby Carpenter. His comments that he said were pretty emotional, but Rex Ryan will eat you up. Rex Ryan, that was very heartfelt tribute to Nick Mangold.
Indeed. And that was right. That was unfiltered. Rex Ryan found out, and shortly after he's got to go live on ESPN, NFL Countdown. And you got every bit of his emotion into that little segment there.
Nick Mangold was a Buckeye. Like that was the prototypical Buckeye right there. So yeah, big T's and P's to Nick Mangold. Rex Ryan earned more respect from me the way he handled that. He handled it like a G. So T's and P's.
T's and P's. All right, that brings us into this week's leadoff. We're not leading off of first base. We're coming off the baseline, into the stands, out of the arena, talking about the NBA betting investigation by the FBI.
Yeah, it is. I was like, it's more than just a betting investigation here.
This
is
is
a gambling shakedown.
This is a gambling shakedown in every way. It involves NBA players. It involves other parties. It apparently involves the mafia in some ways. So I don't know if we should say that out loud. So maybe strike that from the record, editor. We don't want to get involved in any of that situation. But generally, I'm going to try to condense this as best I can. Federal prosecutors have revealed 2 overlapping schemes that are tied to the NBA, one involving rigged high-stakes poker games, which is being linked to organized crime, and another involving insider sports betting on NBA player prop lines, which is nothing new. Right? This came out last year with Jonte Porter. This is just further proof that it has been happening. In the poker scheme, Chauncey Billups, now former Portland Trail Blazers head coach, and Damon Jones allegedly helped draw wealthy professional poker players as well as just general whales with a lot of money to put on the table and fixed poker games using high-tech devices and other cheating tools. Throughout this week, at least one video that I have seen discussed a professional poker player discussed being aware of this game and these games and telling people, I don't think I'd get involved if I were you. And this is from like 2 or 3 years ago that these interviews have resurfaced. Now these have been proven accurate. But this professional poker player from the Pittsburgh area that was on Pat McAfee's show did talk about, hey, I received multiple invites. I did some homework. I know people that lost a lot of money in those games. Yikes. So from a poker perspective, this is pretty outrageous to have a house game with this big of money controlled by the people that are cheating the players. We're talking probably tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars changing hands. So that's one piece. The other piece is the in-game sports betting, or even player prop sports betting, where now former active player Terry Rozier and others are accused of sharing non-public information, such as maybe being on a cap for minutes or having a certain injury status that may be like borderline, whether you're going to play or not. So bets could be placed on their unders, whether it's under points, under minutes played, under 3-pointers, some under prop line, and then the player, in this case Damon Jones, executing that under appropriately. The 2 cases together go across multiple states, involve more than 30 indicted individuals, and obviously are going to leave a pretty significant scar on the NBA. And this all dropped like opening day. Adam Silver in the mornings on like the Today Show, on other sports shows, and then this drops later in that day. So I ask you all, what do you think about where this situation is currently? How deep do you think it goes? And how long will it take the NBA and even the sports betting industry to recover? Let us start with Jim.
Can I defer to like the other 2? I'm interested to hear what Nate says. Honestly, you want my God's honest truth? I want to hear what Nate, who I genuinely look at as the common man, what he thinks first.
Nate.
I mean, I think it's a black eye to the NBA for the time being. I mean, this is now the second player in recent, the past year, 2 years, that's getting a lifetime ban for point shaving. You don't see that in the other major sports right now. So I think the NBA's got a lot to overcome here. But as far as the sports betting, you're still going to get people betting on their games. Like Muff, Alex, you, Jim, are all still going to wager on the NBA. You're still going to do your parlays and stuff like that. It's just now everyone's just going to be a little bit more on edge. You're like, okay, do I really want to bet on this or whatever? And like everything's going to look skeptical now.
Okay, so you see no impact to the sports betting industry, short or long term?
No, I mean, maybe in the short term you may not see anything, or the numbers up there as far as player props. But I mean, you're still going to get the bets on there. People just aren't going to automatically stop betting.
Yeah, I will say, hand up, put a bet on an NBA game last night. Had a boost from FanDuel. Put that up, maxed it out to that bet. Granted, I won. It had nothing to do with player props. It was just a straight up money line winner. Cashed out. Alex, what are your thoughts?
I was gonna go kind of a direction with Nate. I feel like the NBA gets a lot of like NBA rigged, like, oh, it's all fixed anyway. It's not real. They don't play hard. Blah blah blah. And I think then you get scandals like this that just further accentuate that opinion. That it's almost like a fantasy league kind of deal. Um, I'm interested to see who comes down with them. I feel like this is not the end of the circle. Um, and I wouldn't be surprised if a few more names come out. I don't have any speculation who it would be. It just feels like maybe it's going to be a little bigger. And if not specifically in their ring, then others, like if they're looking this hard into it, I think other stuff comes up. I don't think that they're done yet, and I'll be interested to see how it develops. I don't think it's necessarily a big like tarnish on the league. It's more of lost faith in the league.
Okay.
Like you get the my dad's era guys like, oh, it's not like it was back whenever I was young and blah blah blah. And it's like, okay, this kind of stuff happens and it just more and more digs that hole.
All right. How about the gambling aspect? Right. We know that, right, professional athletes, this is not just an NBA thing, typically have, not all of them, but have a penchant to, right, gamble, whether that is sports betting, whether that is poker, blackjack, all of that. You have the money, you have the disposable income, you're willing to put it out there. Now seeing them put that out there in a house game with money that you control, right? That is one thing about a house game. When you think about poker, right, it's only as good as the security that is there. You could easily be raided by, right, any nefarious criminals that know what's going on and find a way in and find a way to steal money, cash money that is on hand there. So any thoughts on that, Alex or Nate, about the gambling, not the gambling, but the poker part of this situation?
There's probably games going on right now. But I think that people are just going to keep the circles a little bit tighter now.
Yeah. I don't have a huge opinion one way or the other on that. But
All right. Jim, gearing up for this. Better deliver.
My goal was to keep this not political leaning, but I don't know how you can. I think this is just a hot spot for politics. I think this is a nice buzzworthy news line that keeps our eyes on something else. This sounds very conspiracy theory esque, and this has nothing to do with Donald Trump. I think anybody who is in the executive branch that catches a hot pop like this is gonna use it to distract or to divert attention from other things. And we haven't gone political in a long time, Muff, so I apologize, and you can cut me out if you want, but I only use this as an example, and let's just take it like, again, Democrat or Republican doesn't matter. Donald Trump did a demolition of part of the White House. Well, I'm not here to debate whether that's true or false, like whether that's good or bad, but like he was catching smoke for it. And then all of a sudden you get this big buzzworthy news story that's going to cross not just the political media stream, but also the sports media stream. And all of a sudden we're going to look at it and that's going to take our attention. It's going to be the next thing in the news cycle, which is, that's nature. That's how it works. So even if it was Joe Biden, Obama, me at the helm, if I have a story like that and I'm catching bad numbers for a decision I made, I'm going to push this. I'm going to have my head of the FBI go out there and make a press conference so that everybody starts looking at this. At the end of the day, the mafia has been around forever. Poker games have been around forever. Fixed sporting events have been around forever. Like the White Sox scandal of the World Series and things like that. Things have happened all the time since the dawn of time. If you could bet on something, somebody was trying to rig it. I think that this sucks. This sucks for the NBA, but they'll survive it. This is a $1 billion industry. I think legalized gambling is going to keep hammering forward. I think what this brings attention for me is your states where Ohio, for instance, like if it boosts my numbers as a politician to say, okay, we're no longer going to have player bets in my state because I'll get elected if I say that. then those will go away in FanDuel. Or if the numbers look good enough for me to say you're not allowed to bet on the NBA in my state, those will go away. So the worst outcome here is stupid shit like this ruins good betting and entertainment for the people who aren't screwing up. And that I think sucks out of all of this. The rest of it I think is just fodder for the political machine or the other machines. Somebody behind the wheels pulling the strings. That was my take on it.
All right. As expected, Jim had a political lean to this.
Sorry.
He did water it down slightly from his initial reactions and thoughts in the group chat. So
yeah, I mean, I wasn't going to go extreme. I've given time and age to grow up a little bit and not make it a giant outlandish thing, but that's my take.
All right. And my take overall is I agree with Jim that as long as sports betting and as long as you've had the ability to place a wager on sport, there have always been somebody looking to get an edge, whether that was an edge with the information you have or whether that was an edge as far as manipulating scores, manipulating lines, doing something to give you almost a certainty of winning, in so much as what you have provided the player on the other side to give them the incentive to do so. Right. So we've always had that. The mafia's involvement and all of that. Also, we saw this at Boston College and college basketball in the 90s. Right. Those are 90s, not the 80s. Correct?
I think you're right.
Yeah. Right. It's been there. That was even deeper when you think about who was all involved and the amount of players that had to be involved in all of that. As far as sports gambling, that is an industry that is too big to lose. It's too big to go down right now. There is too much revenue being generated that filters back to the states for them to do anything to put that on the line, right? We are not going to vote this out. We're not going to do anything because we need the money that it generates at this point, probably to supplement states' operating budgets, right? We need that. So I don't see that going away. And the sports gambling industry is bigger than the leagues themselves in most cases. So not going away. But to the poker stuff, I think this, as to Alex's point, puts all of that right now at the forefront of, if you're involved in this kind of stuff and you are currently a professional athlete across any sport, right, you're probably going to start to see that die down a little bit, right? You're not going to want to find yourself at those house games because there's going to be somebody somewhere that's, I'm not going to say that they're going to try to cheat you out of it, but there's going to be a lot more speculation and concern about joining those house games unless you know, bar none, that it is an honest game.
I lean more towards Nate that your circles are going to get tighter. I don't know if they'll ever go away.
Well, I think that's what I'm saying is the circle gets tighter.
Yeah.
You're not going to have, right? You hear the stories about, right, players on planes betting on different games as they come back from road trips, right? All of that's not going to change. The NBA is saying we're going to put together something to send out to the teams to make sure they're all educated and aware of what, right, the dangers of doing things are, right? That's lip service, right? They have to say that they're going to do it. I will be interested to see how this actually transpires over the next, let's be honest, 2 to 3 years, right? We're not going to see the end of this quickly.
No.
We're going to have informants. We're going to have people, unnamed people, right, that are worried about the backlash. You're going to see a lot of, right, unnamed person number 5 who was at this house game reported this.
I think that's kind of what I meant when I said more people are going to come out and be involved.
Yeah. Okay.
Like more names will be dropped in their involvement level to TBD, but
I think the biggest what if that might shake out of this, and I don't want to go in the conspiracy realm, but what happens when we tie in college football? I think the public is generally okay with, oh, you caught somebody in the NBA, maybe even the NFL. Boxing, we've already swallowed that medicine fine. But like something that we call amateur-ish, wink, wink, of college football, what happens when the curtain gets pulled and you got coaches or players shaving points or hitting spreads. We already know they are on college football. I think the public outrage will be a little more, and I can see us losing betting on college sports. I can see that happening.
I think that has more possibility than like an NBA
Yeah.
type situation.
Yep.
All right. So we'll keep tabs on this. Like I said, I don't think this is going away anytime soon. I'm sure there will be ample updates in the weeks to come about where people expect this investigation to go, who are some of the high profile names, right? That's going to be part of that fodder to grab your attention. And then it will probably disappear for 6 to 12 months. And then we'll see a whole bunch more come out all at once through these investigations. So not to belabor the point too much. So we're going to move on to the next item in the leadoff, which is another high profile college football coach getting the axe. This time, Brian Kelly, LSU, amid a $54 million buyout, is gone in Baton Rouge, and we no longer
That's
get
how
to
you know you
hear
want
him.
someone gone
How's that?
when you pay that much money.
Well, Alex, we saw this in Penn State as well.
I know. I'm just saying. But
So
I had the same feeling there too. I feel like maybe James Franklin was less surprised. I'm not gonna lie, right up. I was shocked by this.
Honestly, no.
I was.
Honestly, I mean, you have Penn State was in the playoffs recently.
Yeah, and then took a holy dive.
Yeah, but
Who was LSU's losses to this year?
Who are their wins?
No, but their losses were a lot better than.
we could debate that all night.
I just was more surprised by it. I didn't even know that he'd make it out. I thought he'd make it out of this season and they'd do it over the offseason. Was my.
But let's run this back for a second. If Muff wasn't a Penn State fan, and we didn't talk about Penn State so much, do you still think it's a surprise?
I think so.
Okay.
Just the timing of it, I guess. Like not necessarily that it happened. Like I didn't see him.
So if it was done in the same time frame as Franklin, would you have been surprised?
I don't know. I think it would have been after a loss.
Because I would buy it with
Sure.
the fact it's later in the season for Kelly is shocking. I'll buy that argument.
I feel like yes. So I feel like I was thinking it would just at this point they would wait till the end of the year and just part ways. That's what
I'll buy that. I thought the fact that Franklin's playoff runs versus Kelly's, I was like, wow, they should have killed Kelly off a long time ago.
Fair.
And but your point of him being late in the season like this, but just might as well ride it out.
Yeah, that was my yes. When I say the timing is what surprised me.
But I think Franklin's departure has screwed up the carousel bad, because I think everybody's on tilt with the NIL.
Yeah.
There's definitely a whole different level of consideration, and the ball game has changed as far as the coaching carousel.
Yeah.
And we are seeing that play out in real time right now, because you've got the speculation of all of this money being thrown at not only people like James Franklin, Brian Kelly, but current coaches that may be not at powerhouse programs or not at programs that are achieving at the highest level, saying, hey, maybe we got this much for you. And we'll talk a little bit about that more as we get into college football. Lane Kiffin being a name that is being tossed around just as much as Brian Kelly and James Franklin at this point.
Are we running the carousel later in the show? I read the notes, but briefly.
No, we're not going to run the full carousel, but we're going to put in some tidbits of some of the reported speculation about offers that are out there.
I'm going to hold you to that, because I have a discussion I want to throw around.
All right. That wraps up the leadoff. Let's get into the NFL Week 8. The week that was and that is as we record in professional football. Starting on Thursday night as the Chargers dominate in Thursday night football, winning 37-10. The Justin Herbert of old shows up. And unfortunately, Carson Wentz could not survive this game and will not survive the rest of the season, as he now will be having season-ending shoulder surgery. step in J.J. McCarthy, whether he was ready to or not now.
Yeah. Yep.
So how do we
Yeah, I
feel
don't
after
know
this
how
game for
Wentz
the Chargers?
started. I
Yeah,
mean, I
Nate?
think that's a get right game for them. They needed it in the worst
Yeah.
way.
Yeah. It really, and I saw Carson Wentz pop out there with that huge arm brace. I was like, this is, he is the sacrificial lamb right now for that team. And they are just hoping he gets through this game. So that's, he did his duty to Skull Nation. He is going to get his salary for the rest of the year, but I think this may be the end of Carson Wentz as far as being relevant in the NFL.
Yeah, I don't think he's in.
I'm trying to see if I can find where it is, but the injury that they reported for him was crazy. Like, of course, now I can't find it. It's like he had a dislocated shoulder that ended up tearing his labrum, and he was still playing through it.
That's a warrior right there. So
Well, I may never throw in the NFL again.
Yeah, here you go.
Grip it and rip it.
He suffered it on October 5th while playing in place of McCarthy. He had been playing through a dislocated shoulder that includes a torn labrum and a fractured socket.
yeah, that's not a recipe for success in the NFL. Even though it is his non-throwing shoulder, he still gets put on his butt enough and on his shoulder enough that he was probably in pain every single play. So yeah, Chargers get the big win there. We'll see what that means for their season moving forward. Next, the Jets get that W, 39-38 over the Bengals. Jets score 23 in the fourth quarter, including two 2-point conversions. Get the first win for Aaron Glenn, and there was much jubilation in New York.
There was
This is
much
more of a
jubilation.
statement of Cincinnati.
What'd you say?
I think this is more of a statement about Cincinnati.
Oh, I agree.
Why?
Yeah, Cincinnati in the bad spot right now. But
If I
we
were
got
Joe
two.
Burrow, I'd stay home.
Don't even show up.
Nope, no need.
Stay
right.
home, pass out Halloween candy.
Yeah,
Yeah, just stay at home. That's
I'm
it.
broken.
Next, we have the Ravens without Lamar Jackson beat the Bears 30-16. Lamar Jackson was questionable going into this game, ended up being a full participant in practice, but ultimately did not play the game. There's also some speculation about some possible investigations and punishments from the league about their handling of Lamar Jackson's status for this week. Nate, I think you
Why?
found that tidbit. What did you find?
So watching the pre-game show on Sunday Night Football, they were talking to Florio, and he said when you're a starter and you don't take starter reps, no matter what, if you practice at all and you don't take those starters reps, you're supposed to be listed as limited. Because the speculation was, or the word that came out was that Lamar ran the scout team offense. So they said, oh, well, he was a full participant because he ran scout all practice. But since he wasn't technically taking reps with the first team offense, he should have been listed as limited. So now it's like, okay, did they do this to try to like get the Bears to think he was going to play? And then it's like, what kind of repercussions? And Florio said it could be as serious as a loss of a draft pick, a fine,
Wow.
or something of that nature. And it's like, geez, all or
Semantics.
just something as simple as injury status, like how much did he practice?
Right. Let's not forget now were there betting implications. We just saw what the NBA went through. Is the NFL just saying, listen, we may take a hard line on this. Don't even take a sniff at him potentially playing unless you truly, truly mean it.
Mm-hmm.
That's stupid.
Which they covered no matter either way. So
Indeed. For the Ravens, maybe they'll get their ping pong table, video games, basketball, hoop, and cornhole boards back because they were removed after their 1-5 start. They get the win. Maybe they'll be able to have fun in the facility again. Next, we have the Dolphins, looking like the Dolphins that we expected coming into the season, beating the Falcons in one of the top defenses in the league, 34-10.
Oof, well, we swung and missed on that one.
Yep, the hit stick pick took a big old swing and a big old miss with this one. The
I know
Dolphins
that's not the show, but
Dolphins bounce back. Look like a team that we expected they may look like throughout the beginning of the season. Now we will see what progresses in the weeks to come. Next, we have the Bills dominating the Panthers 40-9 in a game that I think was just expected. Right, the Bills coming off a bye, I believe, just needed to just have an easy win, and they got one at the Panthers. At the feet of the Panthers in this case. Fellow degenerate Tim, his wife and his family, along with other friends, were at this game. Much of his wife's family are Bills fans. Tim said his daughter was very upset that the Panthers lost. She was bought into the fanfare of the game.
oh no,
Because they were in Carolina to see this game,
Yeah.
so I think she did all of the fan stuff with the team, not with the team itself, but everything that the stadium offers.
Yeah.
So I think she was all bought in on the Panthers. So maybe next time, Caroline. Maybe next time.
Oh, that's kind of funny, actually.
Caroline, this was a lesson learned in false advertising.
There we go. Texans 26, 49ers 15. Jim, you on the up and up now with the Texans, or are we still waiting to see?
I found out some knowledge, and I'm not ready to put the T out there, but we know some
insider knowledge.
Not insider knowledge. No.
SSJM now named in the new investigation.
We're not going to say that ever. But I found out that we have a tie to the Texans.
Go on.
We know someone on the staff there.
We collectively, or we as in certain members of this podcast?
I know I do. I'm pretty sure Alex does. I don't know if you do, Muff, and I know that Nate does for sure. So
yeah,
whether they win or
I know
lose,
what you're hitting at.
Do you, Nate? So
yes.
Whether they win or lose, I'm a Texans fan riding completely. And the fact they won makes it even better.
All right. Maybe more to come on that. Jim, positive on the Texans no matter what the outcome.
No matter what the outcome.
All right. Eagles 38, Giants 20. Despite an Eagles win, the story had nothing to do with the Eagles, had nothing to do with Jalen Hurts, had nothing to do with Devontae Smith, A.J. Brown, or Saquon Barkley. It was all about that Gumby for Cam Scattaboo.
That one even made me queasy, and that's hard to do.
Yeah.
So what was the official word here? Dislocated ankle?
Yeah.
Dislocated is what I heard.
Yeah.
And then all of the ligament and other damage that comes along with that, Alex?
Yeah.
So realistically, Alex,
fell off.
Right. Without having all the details, what is a realistic recovery, not even recovery, but time to get back to you can even walk normally with something like this?
Walk normally?
Walk. I mean, you'll probably be in a cast and stuff like that, but walk without any aids or any protection.
No aids, probably at least 6 weeks, I would think. It takes up to 6 weeks for bones to heal.
What is dislocated? Is the same bone healage?
Yeah, so I'm sure he broke things when he did it.
I will say I forgot when we talked about the worst injuries, but that's up there on my list.
Yeah,
it really is to the point when that happens, your skin is holding your foot from being off.
Shut the fuck up!
I was wondering.
I knew you would look at the picture.
Right, dislocated doesn't necessarily. I mean, I didn't see any blood or anything, so that would be compound dislocated, Alex.
What?
Yeah. I mean, just because we didn't see blood doesn't mean it ain't there, though.
Right. No, I understand.
God bless it.
On a football field, right? This is a little bit different than some of these other situations we've seen on basketball courts.
Yeah.
Is that usually football players have a little bit more protection and layers on that you don't see these things. So it could be just as bad underneath of the socks and the tape and everything.
All right. Can we move on? Alex,
all right. Well, let's move on to a lighter note here.
Alex.
Yes. Yeah.
From a medical perspective, is this one of those injuries where you get the quick hit of morphine instantly?
I would if I'm taking care of them. Yeah.
Like you're just like if you're the EMT, you're like, oh, morphine. Here you go.
Usually, honestly, it's fentanyl.
Right. Well, I was trying not
yes.
to bring in that dirty word, but
there's a use for it and a medical place for it, and not. But yes.
You get that like before you even get to the hospital, right?
Oh yeah.
Thanks. So, see, now that makes me feel a little better. Like,
100%.
Do you go into instant shock?
I will say that I've noticed like people will have like really big adrenaline, and they're like it doesn't, and then like everything else starts hurting really bad. So we would call that like if he was in a car accident and came in with that, we would call it distracting injury. Because when something like that's so bad, like he may have like also broken his arm, but we don't know because all you're focused on is the leg.
Okay.
But and then like when people's adrenaline wears off, they're like, oh, by the way, this also hurts really bad. But in his case, it's just an isolated injury. But still, yes.
Right. Like, because
he's a tough mother effort too. He didn't even. He just like points at his foot, like road broke.
Hey guys, my foot's falling off here.
Like, is that one?
Hey guys, I look like Mr. Potato Head without a foot.
Do you commonly pass out?
No.
Okay. Let me tell you.
I would say no. Like the adrenaline rush is going to probably keep you from passing out initially.
I'm going to tell you how I'm going to react. Right. I'm going to dislocate the ankle. I'm going to be real mad. I'm going to scream. Okay. I'm going to wait for them EMTs to get to me.
I don't know. Would you?
Oh, I'm gonna lose my shit. Okay. I'm gonna wait for the EMTs to get to me. I'm gonna let them dope my ass up, and then I'm going to sleep. I'm going to sleep, and I'm waiting for somebody to wake me up when it's all over. That's it.
That's you go to the operating room that night injury.
And I'm saying calm off.
One of the biggest problems is worrying about like if you do any damage to like arteries, nerves, etc. in the foot.
Calm off.
I'm the guy that pulls the plug. I'm not the guy that
calm off because I want you to pull the plug.
Okay.
I'm going.
All right.
On a lighter note, Muff's in charge of this, so you can be like, no, Jam, your foot's broke. We're not
going to sleep. Good night. Calm off.
All right. On a lighter note of all of this, since this happened in Philadelphia, Big Dom dropped off pizza and cheesesteaks to give Scadaboo at the hospital while he was around. So, at least Big Dom's he's equal opportunity supporter of all the people.
Oh, I wouldn't even want to eat that. I'd throw up.
Right. This does come a week after $350,000 in fines were handed over to the Giants based on their protocol violations, especially related to concussion protocols. They had a $200,000 fine for violating the protocol itself. Brian Dable was fined $100,000 and Cam Scadaboo $15,000 for conduct detrimental to the league.
I was going to say it was kind of silly though in a way. Like, and I'm a big proponent of like let the medical team do their job, blah blah blah. Obviously, but like they were basically like, we don't know that you did anything wrong, but it looked like you might be doing something wrong, so you're getting fined.
I also feel like this is Scadaboo's like karma. You don't touch the medical tent, just like you don't fake being on crutches or ride in a wheelchair. Like you touched the medical tent when you weren't hurt. You got hurt. Don't touch the tent. Bad juju.
Don't touch the tent. So we'll see what this means for the Giants moving forward. Jackson Dart was obviously visibly upset and frustrated by this. He immediately looked away, had some choice words, and we'll see what happens now for that team. Colts 38, Titans 14. The Colts' strong start to the season continues, this time at the expense of the Titans themselves.
Titans are rough.
Titans are rough. Colts in a good spot. Next, we have the Broncos 44, the Cowboys 24. This was a game that many were speculating. How about them boys? Many speculating the Cowboys maybe a spot to catch the Broncos. It was the other way around as the Broncos put a hurting on the Cowboys. Patrick Surtain II did suffer a pec injury and is expected to miss 4 to 6 weeks for the Broncos.
Yeah, this game was...
That could be a big loss for them.
Oh, yeah. But this game was huge for the Broncos. I feel like they looked good.
They looked good.
They looked good. They are who we thought they were. Next, Nate's Bucks 23, the Saints 3. Nate, thoughts on this one?
The offense was abysmal, and thank God for the bye week.
Okay.
Defense did force 4 turnovers. They did force 4 turnovers against a bad Saints team with the injuries that are continuing to pile up. So I think everybody needs a whole week off. See you next week.
All right, see you next week. Also see you next week. Steelers drop one to the Packers 35-25 in Sunday Night Football. Aaron Rodgers was going for his win against every NFL team if the Steelers were to have won, but alas, it is the Packers who show up and dominate in this one. Steelers make it look a little bit closer with a last-minute touchdown. Steelers defense, not only was it a problem going into the game, it was a problem in the game, and they now have likely lost Deshaun Elliott for an extended period of time, maybe the entire season. Yet today, who do we talk about signing? A wide receiver. Marquez Valdez-Scantling being rumored to go to Pittsburgh. Alex, thoughts on this game?
It's just so sad because I feel like we have some names that, like, when you read the defense on paper, you're like, yeah, they'd be pretty good. And I don't know what it is. They can't get it together. And it's kind of sad because I feel like usually we're talking the opposite way. We're like, our offense is miserable. Thank God for our defense. And it's like, I feel frustrated as a Steelers fan because we can't put it all together.
Yes, I share those frustrations. The defense had some moments, 3 and outs. Really, there's no pressure on the quarterback, which, given the defensive line, you would expect with 4 people, they're at least able to get some solid pressure throughout the game. I'm not saying have like Myles Garrett type numbers here, but something to get this team going.
That's it. Get the team going. Like, just do something. Do something crazy.
Do something. It's the meme, right? Do something. Or GIF, whatever that would be in this case. Nate, Jim, any thoughts on this game?
NBC loves Aaron Rodgers.
What was the story?
Loves him.
I mean, like Alex is pointing, like, you look good on paper. Like, maybe if this team was 3 or 4 years younger.
That's, yeah.
100%.
If I had to hear Chris Collinsworth say something about them wanting to play in the man and getting torched again, it's like, okay, Chris, we get it.
We get it. I just realized that I glossed over the fact that the Patriots beat the Browns 32-13. Myles Garrett had 5 sacks. Becomes the first player in NFL history to achieve this feat and have his team lose by more than 3 points. The Browns still be the Browns.
Yep.
But hey, he got that money even though he wanted to.
He did. He did get that money. Next live look in Commanders Chiefs. Nate, what do we got?
We got the Chiefs up 7-0, and it's just under 4 minutes to go in the second quarter.
All right. Let me get another update here before the end. In other NFL news, wide receiver Tyler Lockett to sign with the Raiders, reuniting with Pete Carroll and Geno Smith after their time together in Seattle. All right. It's time to go into college football. Dun, da, da, da. College football week 9, starting with the Hoosiers of Indiana, wiping, absolutely destroying, demonstrating that maybe they are a team that need to be reckoned with. UCLA 56-6.
Beat the dog shit out of them. Signetti did not let up. Signetti tasted blood and just kept going for it.
I can respect it. I think
Yeah.
he's earned the right to do it.
Yep, I don't disagree with that take.
So we will see moving forward about Indiana. UCLA. Is UCLA able to recover and still be competitive, or is this kind of like now we got put in our place?
Their schedule doesn't really afford them the ability to bounce back easily. I think they can. Like, I think, it's going to be a testament to the coaching staff if they do, but like, they're in for a long end of the season. So they need to muscle up. There's some coaching You make some coaching careers if you can bounce back from that ass whoop.
Yeah, 100%. Next, number 3, Texas A&M locked up and won early against LSU in the game that ultimately got Brian Kelly fired. Texas A&M pulls away 49-25. And while Texas A&M did win this game, they were fined $50,000 from the week prior after video footage showed a staffer telling a player to fake an injury to stop the game after an Arkansas first down. It's the first large fine I've seen related to this.
I think it is one of the first in the SEC.
So, if you want to talk about...
I mean, they have to do them to prevent these fake injuries.
Yeah,
I mean, they had the rule change into this year where if a team presents injured after the ball is spotted, you're either charged a team timeout or delay a game. But I think teams are like, oh, no, we'll just make sure we go down before that. So it's never going to be perfect, but I think if these teams start getting fined or whatever, you're going to see the administration step in.
Yeah. So Texas A&M still a wagon. They're in the driver's seat in the SEC. I don't know what their schedule looks like moving forward, but I'm sure that they have something coming up that may create a little bit of a challenge.
So if anyone's still going to play the SEC championship, like that, I don't care who is at the top dog of the SEC. You still got the championship, and that's what matters.
Right. Well, that's what matters. I mean, you make it to the SEC championship, especially the way the season is going, you're going to be in the playoff. Right.
Yeah, but at this point, like if you're number 3 in the nation, if you're in the top 5 of the nation, you're in the playoffs at this point in the season. You got probably one big fist fight that you're going to have. You'll land still probably in the top 12. It's that championship game for A&M that's going to be a fist fight that's going to show whether they got it or not.
All right. Speaking of who they could be playing in that championship game, number 4 Alabama survives at South Carolina 29-22.
Bama's not real.
I'm not going to go that far. I think Bama may be slightly inflated in their ranking, but I'm not going to say that they are not a nationally competitive team based on this game alone. Jim apparently disagrees, which is fine.
No, I think they're still nationally competitive. I don't think they're like Alabama bold, but
right. Thank you. Yeah, I'm with that.
Well, there's a lot of teams this year they're not. I mean, we've talked about, the parity in college football this year is off the charts. I think we're going to see some fun playoff games, especially in those first 2 rounds, in my opinion.
The only thing I caught on this weekend, and we'll talk about that non-power 5 teams suck.
Yeah, there's a lot going on there, right? They can't hold on to that talent like they used to.
Yep.
With the NIL, in the portal. Number 6, Oregon 21, Wisconsin 7. Oregon's quarterback injured in this game, Dante Moore. Nate, Grateful Duck uniforms.
Yeah.
Yeah, they made a big deal out of them. They were fine.
They're fine. In this one, I found this and I thought it was hilarious. For Wisconsin, there's a local promotional offer for reduced price gasoline the Monday after Wisconsin's games based on the points scored. So you get 28 cents off if they score 28 or more points, 35 cents off if they score 35 or more, and 42 cents if they score 42 or more. Needless to say, they have not had to deliver on that promotional offer as of yet.
3 weeks, they have 7 cents.
I know. No, you have to get at least to 28, Jim. There's no 7.
Okay.
You got to get it. Shit. 28 is the floor of that promotional offer.
That's funny.
Luke Fickell's gone. Let's just face it. He's out. Oregon should have scored way more points, but the weather, the quarterback injury. I honestly think Oregon's not that good.
Well, especially with the quarterback down, it's going to be a whole different ballgame there. Yep. Next, Georgia Tech 41, Syracuse 16.
Georgia Tech is real. Real defense is a little, but offensively, damn, they play fast.
They play fast. Now, I don't want to say 41-16 against Syracuse is right the fodder that you need to say you're nationally relevant, but they have won the games they're supposed to win.
Yeah.
And that's all you can ask right now.
Yep.
Next, number 8, Ole Miss, 34-13, Oklahoma 26.
Ole Miss is a head case, just like their coach. If they got momentum, they're great. If they start to lose it, you basically need to like get in their ear and pray. Like as soon as they start to lose momentum, they could be out, and they are a head case team.
Yeah, maybe even more of a head case moving forward because reportedly Florida has offered Lane Kiffin $81 million over 6 years, which
Yep.
if that were to happen would make him the highest paid coach in college football.
If that gets worse, Ole Miss is done. I'm telling you right now, I'm calling it. The more they make that a story, like if I'm the opposing team, I'm sending my reporters out there. I'm making it a thing because they are so mental that team is not. They're not built for that kind of shit.
Nope. So we'll see what that looks like moving forward. Number 9, Miami 42, Stanford 7. Bounce back win for Miami, as expected.
Yep.
Number 10, Vanderbilt takes number 15, Missouri, 17-10.
This to me is a shock.
Darth Vader did not come out for this one, Jim.
No. I think Diego is a dog. I think Missouri's defense did not play well. I guess I shouldn't say that. The score was low, but
Missouri's quarterback got hurt in that.
Yeah.
Good. That's what I missed then. Thank you, Nate.
Yeah, he did. But Vanderbilt still gets the win. This helps their resume for the college football playoff.
See the clip I sent?
No, I didn't.
Where they had to take, so they took him off in a cart, only took him to the corner of the field to put him in a wheelchair.
Oh, was that game? I saw that. I didn't realize it was that game.
Yeah.
Yep.
Gotcha.
All right.
Yeah. Only at Vegas, whatever, do you get put on a golf cart to get taken off the field, and then they stop right at the corner of the field to transfer you to a wheelchair. They can't just take you all the way freaking out.
Yeah. Okay.
Number 11, BYU 41, Iowa State 27.
Did not see this game.
I mean, Iowa State, I believe, was favored in this game. BYU continues to be disrespected, and yet they continue to keep winning.
That's pretty disrespectful.
I think I mentioned that I thought that at this point that was ridiculous. I think I might have called this one out on the betting show.
Did you bet it?
I did in my head.
Did you bet it?
No.
Then that means nothing, Alex.
I'm just saying that I made the comment that I agree with you.
Yeah.
I don't need to get aggressive.
I'm just saying if Jim said that, I would respond in the same way, so I have to be consistent.
That's fair.
Here.
That's fair. Equal opportunity.
Yep. Number 14, Texas Tech 42, Oklahoma State 0. Oklahoma State.
What a dumpster fire.
Not surprised.
Past 2 years, just been a bad situation there. Number 16, Virginia takes down North Carolina in overtime, 17-16.
This in my head. This is one of those times where I called in my head and should have said it out loud. I thought North Carolina, this is a gotcha game against Virginia. I still think Virginia is good. I just thought North Carolina might have something for a team like Virginia.
Yeah, I mean, I was on Virginia as a best bet, and as I was watching this game, I was like, Virginia's going to pull away in the second half. Something's going to happen, right? North Carolina has not been able to be competitive through 4 quarters. It'll be all right. And then as the game continued to inch along, I was like, oh, crap. Not only is this bet maybe not going to hit, but Virginia may not even win this game.
I stayed way away. I remember.
Yep. Number 17, Tennessee 56, Kentucky 34.
Tennessee took care of Kentucky like usual.
All right, high-scoring affair. Now the game that I want to know Jim's take because he had some things to say on Saturday. Number 18, South Florida loses to Memphis 34-31.
The coach for South Florida is a fucking moron. There's 10 seconds left in regulation. In regulation. This guy, now mind you, he's on like, we'll call it the 30, within field goal range. Within decent field goal range. Instead of saying, you know what we're going to do, guys? We're going to kick this field goal, and then we'll go to overtime. The safe route. This guy wants to play hero ball and throw it to the end zone. What happens? Either a legal formation or a holding. It had to be a holding. No, it was a 15-yarder. Something stupid. Backs him up out of fucking nowhere. And they missed a fucking field goal to tie the game. Memphis wins. Like, why? Why did you do that? That was stupid. Asinine. Kick the field goal, eliminate any mistakes, and let's go give us a chance to win. Dumb.
Rest assured, South Florida's coach is not getting national attention for any of these high-profile jobs right now.
That was so asinine. And, like, Memphis came back in that game. So, like, it wasn't like you had momentum on your side. It wasn't like, you know what, we're better than them. We're playing well. No, you were getting your asses handed to you in that fourth quarter. Like, stop. Let's stop the bleeding. Let's kick that field goal. Let's catch our breath. And let's go try to win the game. Nope. Stupid.
All right, number 19, Louisville 38, Boston College 24. I mean, this game was not on my radar in any way. So if we have nothing to talk about, just move along.
Nope.
All right, number 21, Cincinnati 41, Baylor 20.
Does this add legitimacy to Cincinnati?
I don't know. Nemi was all over this one in the betting.
I think this does add a little bit of a bite to Cincinnati.
Yeah. They could be, at this point, the G5 team that makes the cut the way other things have gone. Number 22, Texas beats Mississippi State in overtime, 45-38, and what I will ever remember as the Brandon Walker meltdown.
Yeah, did you watch the video that someone put together?
Yes, they painted that whole thing up about his hype, and then the actual just fall from grace. Hilarious. If people don't know who Brandon Walker is, he's a college football personality through Barstool. Unnecessary Roughness is that podcast. They do live shows Saturday, usually around like 11 o'clock after those 8 o'clock games are ending or after they've ended. Listening to him this week just made me feel so much better about feeling any type of depression about what's going on with Penn State this year. I feel so much better about my fandom given that.
Yes, they, like whatever your feelings are valid.
Well, just that they will never reach that low.
Yeah.
They will never reach the low that Brandon Walker reaches when Mississippi State loses a close game, ever. So, Texas, we had Arch Manning go down in this one, obviously concussed.
And he keeps on ticking, doesn't he?
He was out post-game celebrating with the team.
Well, that shows you how well you need a Manning brain to work.
Well, I think Manning's got pretty big brains, Jim.
They got pretty big skulls. That don't mean you got.
I was going to say.
Well, at least one of them has a big skull and a big brain. Peyton.
He talks like he's got a mouthful of shit. I don't know what you're talking about.
Who, Peyton?
Yeah.
I'm one of the most cerebral assassins from the quarterback side ever, Jim. Don't think we can argue his brains.
I'm arguing the concussion factor. The man's been concussed.
All right. Next, number 23, Illinois loses to Washington 42-25.
I think Jalen was lost his edge there.
What time was this game, Jim? Was his supper time?
There's a lot of wackies on the West Coast. I don't know.
That may have been the problem for him.
I
think Jim may be onto something here. If something's off with his eating schedule, watch out. Houston beats number 24 Arizona State 24-16.
Good upset there.
Arizona State's been very up and down this year.
Yeah, they have. It is week to week for them, 100%.
Yeah, it's hard to pick them in anything. So,
all right, number 25, Michigan 31, Michigan State 20.
Hey, Nemi, remember when you told me that we should take Michigan State plus the points? Fail.
What was the point? What was the line there?
14.5.
Ooh. Listen, you're emotional sport human, Jim. He's putting you in good spots.
He seems to know what he's talking about.
All day, every day. All right, it was homecoming in Morgantown, West Virginia, but it was not enough as TCU beats WVU 23-17. Alex, you have any Any inside scoop there?
No, nothing really. I mean, we showed slightly more heart than we have, so I guess that's a positive. But just this season's just survive and try again next year at this point for me.
All right. Don't worry, Alex. We got one more home game left, and it's going to be a doozy because the
Cannot wait
lead
for a report on that.
up to this.
There's technically 2 games, but that could be a discussion for later.
2 home games?
Yeah.
Is there something I'm missing here?
Yep. November 26th or 27th or whatever that Saturday is.
Is there one we're not going to?
I mean, I don't know. No, I thought we were going, but
All right. Well, anyway,
that'll be a
Utah.
conversation for later, us. But yes, their next home game will be.
All right. Utah beats the brakes off of Colorado 53-17. Colorado had minus 18 total yards in the first half with minus 41 rushing yards. Obviously, sacks are incorporated into those rushing yard stats. Woof. Woof, woof, woof. Alex, feel good about this?
Yeah, it was bad. I'm holding
It was
out hope.
bad.
That's the last thing. That's my last great hope for the year.
Jim, I just want you to know that wherever you're typing these messages in, they're not getting YouTube.
Oh.
Good to know.
Yeah, so anything you've ever done in that chat box, the Riverside, not getting to YouTube.
All right, so it's going to be on the YouTube. Good.
You have to go straight to the YouTube video to type those in.
All right.
So Nemi does not know what you've been trying to say.
Good.
All right. AP top 15, relatively unchanged at the top. Ohio State, Indiana, Texas A&M, Bama, Georgia, followed by Oregon, Ole Miss, Georgia Tech, Vanderbilt, Miami, BYU, Notre Dame, Texas Tech, Tennessee, Virginia. Not much shakeups this week in the top 15. Notable matchups in the week to come. The Lions of Penn State traveling to Columbus to take on the Buckeyes. Fox Big Noon kickoff. I think this is purely based on brand image of the two schools and nothing else. This getting the Big Noon kickoff. Jim, myself, Jim's wife, and baseball guru Hugh will be present. We'll be sitting together, and I will hope for fun. Hoping for fun. Jim, what is the sentiment in Columbus leading up to this game?
Nobody's really talking about it, bud. It's
That's
quiet.
even worse than it. That's the worst. That's the opposite of love's indifference.
It's all quiet. So it's going to be a good time. Big Noon kickoff. I'm excited for that.
Yeah, we'll see. Jim and I, we have yet to discuss our plans leading up to the game and what we're going to do. That's going to be a post-show conversation.
Yeah.
But we'll see what we get into. It's going to be fun. I'm going to be at a college football game on Saturday. You know what? I can't be upset about it.
Oh, hell yeah. I mean, the weather's supposed to be decent. It's supposed to be 52 and clear. It's going to be, a little nipply, but
that's football weather, Jim.
I'm going to drink my Timmy Hose. I'm going to have maybe a cigar. That's been my tradition as of the last 3 or 4 games. I think does he have a guru title? Noah.
Noah will be there as well.
Noah will be there. It's not. I'm pretty sure. So, I'm pretty sure. So it's going to be a good time. Fun will be had by all.
Yeah. How do you expect? I know within your crew, I'm not necessarily any concern about this. How do you expect other people in Columbus to react to my presence?
I mean, we've been there. What is this? Our 3rd game we've gone to?
This would be our second Penn State Ohio State game.
The first one was.
That was the blackout, the first blackout, the night game, right? That actually had a little bit leading into it of like Ohio State won, but it had a lot more build up.
I don't foresee any issues. I think it'll be fine.
Right.
I mean, and if not, it's a good weekend to throw hands.
Don't think I'm interested in getting into that. WVU at
nobody better talk shit to Muff. Let me say, if anybody's hearing it, nobody better talk shit to Muff. He's been through enough this year. He's not the team up north. He's just coming for a good time. Let him be.
Just save that energy for them.
Yeah, save that energy for another week. We don't.
We ain't
I don't.
got time to worry about.
There's no reason to toss all the smoke at me this week.
None whatsoever.
We'll just hope that everyone has a similar attitude. W at Houston, Alex. This is a big game in Alex world.
This is
Hogan's not even there.
I feel like Alex still holds on to this grudge.
Yeah, we all hold on to it. What else do we have to hold on to? So yeah,
Couches, aunts and uncles, cousins.
good one. At least
Yikes,
we're not a
Jim.
nut.
Yikes, Jim.
Yeah, it's not as I'm at this point. My focus is on beating Colorado. I might accidentally look over this game and we might win. Might have a reverse effect.
All right, number 9 Vanderbilt at number 20 Texas.
Vandy.
Right, I feel like I don't know what this line is, but I've got to assume that Vandy's
I bet it's like
favored.
10.
10. I'm gonna say it's more in like the 2 to 3 range, Jim.
I was gonna say 3.5.
You want to bet on it? Let's bet on it before we
Do I want to bet on what the line is?
Bet
I
on
will.
what the line might be.
I will bet you $5 that it is not 10 points. Either
So let's
direction.
do an over/under, Muff. Come on.
I just told you what the bet was. You said it's 10. I say it's more 2 to 3.
All right, I can tell you what the spread for Vandy, Texas right now.
Yes.
According to ESPN, up the spread is Texas favored by 1.5.
Ooh,
There you go,
Wow.
Jim.
in favor.
Not 10.
Over under 44.
So who won that, Muff? Me or you?
I decidedly won that one. Nowhere near 10.
And you were on the wrong team.
And Jim,
First off, that is not the official.
Nate,
Jim,
Not
according
the
to
official sports book of the show. And Nate's cutting out, so I'm pretty sure he said 10.
Nate's on a delay. Plus, he's cutting out. I think this is about the time where Nate gets kicked from the show for some reason or another. Not that we kick him, but
Texas Vanderbilt line at our official betting source, which is FanDuel, is Texas minus 1.5.
Yeah. For sure.
All right. Next, less notable game of the week: Oklahoma at Tennessee. I feel like this game just is not getting the fanfare that it would normally get.
Because of the Oklahoma loss.
Right? There's just, I mean, you would expect this to be the one of the profile SEC games of the week, which it is. But this Vandy Texas game is gonna definitely steal the shine.
Yeah, which is funny to say.
Yeah.
Like, not on Texas account, but the fact that it's like about Vanderbilt.
Right. Another college football news: the first college football playoff
and
ranking.
Vanderbilt having a single-digit rank.
Nate, you're not even on the show anymore. I don't know what is wrong with your. It's got a time limit.
I don't know. But we have the first college football playoff ranking coming out on Tuesday, November 4th. We will eagerly anticipate what the gurus of the college football world have to say.
Hey, can we go back to the rankings for a second? And we didn't talk about the coaching carousel, which I was going to.
I talked about Lane Kiffin. That was my lead into that.
That was fucking horrible. All right, let's go back to the rankings for a minute.
Well, Jim, as always, you have access to the notes just as much as anyone else.
Well, I asked if that was going to be a thing, and you said yes. So technically,
I talked about Lane Kiffin. There it was.
All right. You know, you got this rankings from 1 to 15 here, and number 12 is Notre Dame. Right? Technically, they're out. We always forget this. But by the playoff standard, they're not in.
At 12, they are not in.
Right.
But that is an unofficial AP ranking.
Right. I'm saying if this was it today, if this was the ranking, they're out because of that.
The G5 team, theoretically,
Right.
unless that G5 team is higher than 12.
But there's no.
No, right now there is not. I'm saying
Right.
yes, as it sits right now, the G5 team would get the 12th spot.
That is wild. Like that could happen this year, and those teams suck, and I hate Notre Dame. Like that would please me, but like that non-power conference team is like Memphis.
Yep.
And I saw Memphis play, and let me tell you, poop.
All right, somebody's gonna get destroyed in that first week
Destroyed.
this year. All right,
Hold
that
on.
wraps up.
I got one more thing. I'm going back to the carousel. I got one more question. Brian Hartline, Penn State. How you feel about that?
Brian Hartline, Penn State.
Yeah.
I mean, it brings an offensive mind that is a competent one to Happy Valley. So
that's what you. Okay. All right. That's an odd but okay. I see it and I like it. I would have gone more the recruiting route, but cool.
I mean, I understand. I mean, you shared the Penn State has not had a first-round quarterback this century, which, let's be honest, 25 years. I understand. We're going to sensationalize this century to mean people think it's like 100 years, but it's only been 25.
Right.
So, yes, I'm not going to say it wouldn't give a shot in the arm to the recruiting. It wouldn't. Maybe he would pull some guys in from Ohio State. They're borderline right now. Offer them some money, get them to jump ship early, right, in their careers with Ohio State. You're not going to pull the Jeremiah Smiths. You're not going to pull like those top guys, but you're going to bring some middling Ohio State roster guys with you if that comes. But I think that the long con there, the long play is that offensively Penn State improves significantly in this first 2 to 3 years.
Have you seen that wide receiver room that he's done in the last 6 years? Who he's brought?
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, he's not going to bring anybody with him, but who he brings in year one and who he brings in recruiting year one is going to be a significant improvement to what Penn State has had at wide receiver.
I think it would be the shot in the arm. I don't think he goes to a North Carolina or a South, a Florida or an LSU. I just don't think he goes there. I don't think he fits the SEC mold. But a Penn State, and I don't want it to happen. I think it's inevitable that it's going to happen. He's going to leave.
Mm-hmm.
I want him to go to a Penn State if he leaves. I didn't want Jim Knowles to go.
Right.
I hate Jim Knowles for that. But if Hartline goes to Penn State, I love it.
That brings a whole new sense of, for me, going back to who is Ohio State, and I'm not going to use the word stolen because they went for reasons. How many Penn State staffers have gone to Penn State over the years, and this finally brings it back to Penn State in some way.
And the relevancy of the Big Ten.
Oh, yeah, that just so many storylines are just populated instantly from that type of move. So, I'm in favor. His name has not been rumored yet, and I'm sure that Ohio State – is it? I'm sure Ohio State's going to throw a larger bag at him to try to keep him.
I don't know if the bag would be big enough. You guys got to pay that buyout, so maybe.
Right? We don't know. All right. Other interesting news in sports.
Interesting news in sports.
All right. We're going to keep it simple. We're going to keep it sweet. In the hockey world, the Seattle Kraken are 5-2-2, second in the Pacific Division. Jim, have you watched a game yet?
I have not. I missed my one chance. The rest have been at 10 o'clock.
All right. That is the burden that you have following a West Coast team. The Penguins 6-2-1, second in the Metropolitan. Sidney Crosby passes Mario Lemieux for the all-time career points mark in Penguins history. This is regular season plus playoffs. He also recorded his 1,700th point tonight as we were recording and is the fourth fastest to reach this mark in NHL history.
So I'm sad Nate's off the show. This is his time limit. But I ask you, Yinzers, how do you feel about a Lemieux record being broken?
I think because it's by Sidney Crosby, fine. I mean, he is the Mario Lemieux of my era.
All right. Pin, Muff, how do you feel about it? Because that's cool. I understand Alex's perspective because he's young. Muff.
I feel similar to Alex. Anybody but Sidney Crosby, right? This is Penguins point totals that we're talking about. So nobody else has been with the team long enough to do something like that. Sidney Crosby is a Penguin through and through. Sidney Crosby lived with Mario Lemieux when he first came into the league, right? This is something that should be celebrated. Unfortunately, right, the past few years for Penguins have not been solid years, so I feel like it's lost in the shuffle, and only people in Pittsburgh may be truly aware of this.
I equate Lemieux to Dale Earnhardt for you Yinzers. Like he is that guy. Like if there was a statue of Lemieux, full statue outside of your stadium, I would be like, yeah, man, that adds up. Like if you crossed over the bridges when you came through the Fort Pitt Tunnel and there was the Lemieux statue, I'd be like, all right, that's how big Lemieux is in my mind for Yinzers.
I mean, I don't disagree. I mean, he is the savior when you think of, or as part of the ownership group that had possession of the team for a time, right? He is part of the reason Sidney Crosby is in Pittsburgh and has stayed in Pittsburgh. So there's definitely a generational thought there. I have breaking news from the Penguins game. And we've had somebody else in Pittsburgh fall over railings during a game.
Another one?
A fan, and this is per the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette, a fan is in critical condition after falling from the 200 level Monday night at PPG Paints Arena. The incident happened just after the Penguins scored their second goal, 55 seconds into the first period. Fans shared they saw the man in a Penguins jersey stumble down several stairs between sections 201 and 234 as he approached the bottom of the section before falling into and tumbling headfirst over the glass. One fan in the stands told the Post-Gazette the man, quote-unquote, cartwheeled right over the railing.
Rough. T's and P's.
Can't get away from that in Pittsburgh.
My sister was at a concert and was like, I'm so afraid being up here. I feel like I'm going to fall. And I was like, that's so dumb. You're not going to fall from up here. Turns out I was wrong.
Turns out there is reason to be scared of that. All right. And last thing, another interesting news in sports in the baseball world. The Dodgers and Blue Jays are tied 1-1 in the World Series. Game 3 LA in progress, where the Blue Jays are up 4-2 in the top of the fifth inning. Fun story from this one. Game 1 starter, Toronto's Trey Yesevich, had an absolute unbelievable timeline to his baseball season. In April 8th, he made his first career start in single A baseball. May 20th, made his start in high A. June 12th, double A. August 14th, triple A. September 15th, his Major League Baseball debut in 10-5, his first playoff start, and was also starting the ALCS and started Game 1 on October 24th in the World Series, strikes out Shohei Ohtani his first at-bat of the game. If you're looking for a storybook, that's the storybook right there for the Blue Jays, and hopefully getting another start in this World Series. And the fact that it's a 1-1, I would imagine he will be starting again game 5 or 6. All right, that's baseball talk.
That's baseball.
That wraps up this week's episode of Sports Stuff with Jim and Muff. As a remember, make sure that you subscribe, comment, rate, review, poke, like, tickle.
Get the bell on.
Ding, ding.
At Sports Jim Muff on Instagram and Twitter. Sports Stuff with Jim Muff on Facebook, on YouTube. And make sure this rocket ship goes up, up, up to the moon, past 100 subscribers, all the way to millions. So Jim and all of us can get that super sweet plaque from YouTube. You need to tell a friend, make a friend, be a friend.